My name is Zahida Suleiman. I'm a brand consultant at Safaricom. I think I was following on from the tradition of almost all companies in Kenya tend to do a calendar. And at the time, our former CEO, Mr. Michael Joseph, wanted to just do something different, not run in the mill. And so we started theming the calendars accordingly. And I remember the very first one was probably far back as 2003, 2004. And it had to do with landscapes. I can't remember the theme, but I remember it was beautiful. In 2018, we wanted to bring to attention a lot of the animals in Kenya that are under threat or were at that time. For example, the lion, the elephant, and some that people didn't even know about, like the pangolin. And so we partnered with National Geographic to feature 12 animals that were endangered. Some of them, thankfully, have come off that list. But at that time, really bringing to attention, educating, but as well as showcasing those 12 animals. So it works really well. I think it's something people love to put in their houses, in their offices. If you think about the large calendar Safaricom produces every year, that's something that customers, staff, our partners ask, and they want to put this in their homes, in their offices. I think it speaks to the showcasing of whatever theme it is has always, either brought an issue to attention or has showcased how beautiful our country is. So I think it's something that people look forward to because of the theme or the beauty that it brings into the homes or offices of people. We tend to every year pick a theme that is relevant at the time, maybe to a topic or to the brand itself, and then we're able to take the time to go out and bring that theme to life. Sometimes it was about showcasing the creatives behind the scenes. Like there's a year when we did Capture Kenya, where we did a call for photography. Young, talented, upcoming and even established photographers went across the country and kind of brought to life the way they see the country through their own eyes. And that was This Is My Kenya. We've done Capture Kenya, which again goes out and looks at people, places. But I think at the end of the day, the thing that stands out is it really, whether by design or by default, just brings out how beautiful of a country we have in Kenya. So normally it's planned through the year in terms of what is the brand thematic for the year. So for example, this year our brand thematic is Tuinwane, which is all around inspiring each of us to be there for your brother, your sister, and just really uplift a fellow Kenyan. And so based off of that theme, we thought through what do we want to do this year. And so we had 3 or 4 ideas, but landed on one specifically, which is Places of Hope. And so a lot of it has to do what's the brand theme for the year, or what is the issue that we want to bring to attention. This year we worked with Alan Gishigi, simply because he's fantastic at that kind of work that we need for the calendar. So Tuinwane by design this year was just, as I'd mentioned before, was to rally Kenyans to come together, to be there for one another. Going by that famous, one of my favorite sayings says, we rise by lifting others. It's just around, no matter what you do for somebody else, small or big, it makes a difference. And if we can come through for each other as Kenyans, then imagine what the future holds for us. So that was really the thinking behind Tuinwane. Now, when it comes to the calendar, Places of Hope, if you look at it, whether you're an individual or family or communities, when in times of happiness, in times of sadness, we tend to gather to either do Thanksgiving or to pray for a better tomorrow or to pray for healing or whatever it is. And so Places of Hope, we wanted to showcase places in Kenya that people know about or don't know about, but where either individuals or communities gather to come together for healing, for harmony, for hope. And so this year we were able to showcase, and you'll see it in the calendar, 12 beautiful spaces. Some are man-made, some are natural, that whether our ancestors or in the past people have gone to, whether it's to pray at or do community or cultural ceremonies, or today people still go there to seek hope, healing, whatever it is. I think it's just to showcase that those places exist, and that's where people came together to carry out rituals that gave them hope for a better tomorrow. They were warm, inspiring. I think when we got to certain places, you just realize actually, for example, to somebody that might be a tree, and to anybody else that's a tree, but to the community, that's where they go for hope. Where I was able to go to a couple of places, the specific one that I actually just thought, oh my goodness, this is so inspiring, was when we were in the Mara at the Oreteti tree, and the way the community was describing what happens when a woman cannot have a child, the ceremonies that they go through, and how much faith they have that, when they go through that particular ritual, that at the end of it, that she will be gifted with a child. So just being a part of those stories and seeing so many of those ceremonies still alive today, even though 50, 100 years ago people were practicing the same, some of those communities still do it today. That was very inspiring. It was interesting. I didn't go to all the places with the team, but the stories the team was telling me in terms of even going into those spaces, the kind of respect you had to show, the communities, the way they're so even today respectful to what those rituals were. Even if some of them are not practiced today, those places are still protected, they're still respected. So it's very inspiring to see that that part of our culture hasn't died off. Definitely teamwork is important, and it took us, I think we were 18 of us behind the scenes, all the way from the guy who scouts the venues to the photography team to the production house who put it together to the brand team. Just everybody who comes together has a role to play, and that's really important, because when you go on ground you need to find the space has been, the community has given approval, that the spaces have been, are ready for what needs. You can't just walk in and decide you're going to take a photo. You have to respect all the stuff. So all that stuff coming together was super important. We also worked with the National Museums of Kenya. A big thank you to them, because a lot of the facts around the places we visited and the ones we should go to, we partnered with them, because they're obviously the communities know their traditions, but the museum also does a great job of documenting and preserving those spaces. So that was also really important that we worked with the museums on that. So there's a whole army behind the scenes people don't see, and everybody holds their inch to make sure that what then the customer sees is factual, it's thought through really well, it's photographed beautifully, and really inspires those twin moments for whoever receives the calendars or who sees them.